Hello there and welcome to the Champions League preview for Liverpool versus AC Milan. I can't remember, what was it, 2007? Last time we played AC Milan, or at least one of those times anyway. It was a big occasion in the Champions League. Obviously the 2005 one is the one that comes to mind the most for any Liverpool fan, and probably the one that AC Milan fans want to put on the back burner forever and forget about that it ever happened. Let me know what you think ahead of this game. What do you think is going to happen? How are Liverpool going to line up? And what do you think the scoreline is going to be? Because let's make no mistake, this is a difficult group for Liverpool. It's a difficult group for everybody involved, to be fair. It's even a difficult group for Atletico Madrid, Porto, and also, of course, AC Milan. But it's a difficult group for Liverpool, and it's one that we need to make sure that we navigate our way through quite, I don't want to say easily, but we need to make sure we win as many games as possible. Just because you don't want to end up in the Europa League. You don't want to end up having to drop down into the Europa League. No one wants that at all. No one wants to go out of the group stage. No one wants to go down into the the bargain basement champion. Well, it's not even a Champions League competition, is it? It's the Europa League. It's not even as bad as the one that Tottenham are in. But I digress. Anyway, let's get into this one right now. Who do you think is going to line up for Liverpool in this one? I think we can expect some changes. I really do think that we can expect some changes, particularly in the back line. I don't know whether Joe Gomez is ready to play or not, but I think that he's been featured a couple of times on the bench for Liverpool at least. And I think, could we see Joe Gomez, or do we stick to type and stay with Van Dijk and Joel Matip? We've also got the option of Ibrahima Konate to come in as well, who hasn't actually played any Premier League minutes yet. And I do think we could see him. And I don't see why we couldn't see him. I think it would be quite good. Do we partner him with someone like Matip, or do we partner him with Van Dijk? Or again, do we change that partnership in total and go with Joe Gomez and Konate? I'll give you my opinion in just a second as well. But AC Milan are going to be missing the giant man himself, the lion, the god of football himself, as he calls himself. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is going to be missing this game. But it does mean that they could probably start with Olivier Giroud up front, who we know very well. He does like a goal against Liverpool every now and again, whether he was playing for Arsenal or whether he was playing for Chelsea. Hopefully we can stop that from happening in this game. They've got some good players, and there's one player in particular that I'm looking forward to watching, and that is Frank Kessie as well. The centre mid, the midfielder, CDM, whatever you want to class him as. But everything I've ever heard about Kessie, it is glowing praise for him. And I'll be totally honest with you, I've never actually watched the man play a minute of football. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to be like. And hopefully we can combat him and the other midfielder as well. Ismail Benassa, I think is the name that they've got here on the predicted lineups anyway on SofaScore. They'll have Tomori as well, Teo Hernandez as left back as well. So we do know a couple of these guys, and a lot of them we maybe don't know at all, which I don't know, like Brahim Diaz. I don't know Selemakers, if that's his name. Loads of players that I haven't seen, but loads of players that I'm looking forward to seeing as well as what we could see for Liverpool as well. Now, for my lineup, I am sticking with Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'm going to go with Kostas Tsimikas as well. We saw opening days of the season, the opening 2 games of the season, I think it was, as well, where Tsimikas did play, and he played brilliantly. He slotted into those roles, like slotting into a very, very key role for us that Andy Robertson fulfills on a week by week, every 3-day basis that he's done for the last couple of years. Well, Tsimikas didn't get much time last season, but when he came in and played, I was very, very impressed with him. He was impressive in pre-season, very impressive in the Premier League games that he's played as well, and I see no reason not to have Tsimikas in there as well. If I did mention my centre-back pairing, I can't actually remember, so there might be a change or what. I would actually go with Virgil van Dijk and Konate as well. There's no reason other than positives for taking Joel Matip out of the starting lineup, other than the simple fact that we all know Joel Matip can be susceptible to getting injured, and why take the risk when we've got other players there that can come in, make a difference, or even just get their debut for Liverpool. He's played Champions League football before with RB Leipzig, so Konate should be able to come in to the team alongside a partner like Virgil van Dijk and be able to have a decent game as well, while also realising it will be his first competitive game for Liverpool in the Champions League as well, against AC Milan as well. A huge, huge team with massive history as well. I wouldn't mind whoever comes in. Could it be Joe Gomez, the old partner for Virgil van Dijk as well, or do we go with Joe Matip? For me, I'm going with Konate and Virgil van Dijk. We go into the midfield, and obviously we will be missing Harvey Elliott for a very, very long time now. Maybe not the whole season, but we're going to be missing him for a long while. However, our midfield should still be able to have some good options in there. When we've got the likes of Jordan Henderson available, Fabinho is obviously available as well, Thiago, those are the first three that come to mind for me. Others might be Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, for instance, and I'd be a fan of seeing all of those guys play in different combinations. But for me, the mainstay of that midfield has to be Fabinho. The influence that he has and how he can help the team in so many different ways. Goal scoring isn't normally one of them, but when he does score, they're normally good goals. Obviously, that's probably the closest to goal he's ever been against Leeds when he scored. But even so, his calming presence in midfield is very, very similar, if not the same, as what we get with Virgil van Dijk in the centre-back position. Fabinho, for me, is just so key to us in the midfield and key to whoever plays around him at playing well as well. And in this game, I'm going for Thiago and Henderson. You've got three different midfielders, three different types of midfielders that give you different options. Obviously, you've got Thiago with good close control and the ability to dictate play as well from either deep or moving the ball forward. You've got Henderson. You know what you're getting with Henderson. Captain, leader, and absolute tenacity to take good intensity and drive to a game and hopefully help Liverpool win a game as well. And Henderson also, if he plays on the right-hand side of midfield, seems to get that combination of him on the right-hand side of midfield and Trent Alexander-Arnold. That seems to work the best, where he's able to cover in for Trent going forward and stuff like that. And it seems to be really, really effective. Really, really key for us when we were winning the Premier League as well. And then into the front line, Mohamed Salah, Diogo Jota, and Sadio Mane. Mane getting his goal against Leeds as well after about 29 different attempts. Obvious exaggeration, but still, you know what I mean. If you watch that game, you know where I'm coming from. Now, Sadio Mane could play and most likely will play. The great news that we've got is that Minamino is apparently back in training as well. So I don't think that that's going to lead for him to feature. Definitely not from the start of a game, but at least we've got the option from the bench to maybe change things up if and when we need to. But I think we will go with Jota, Salah and Mane. Jota, brilliant player, great goal scorer as well, and just an absolute, he can create havoc out of nothing. He can either assist, he can score, and then obviously Salah speaks for himself as well. Probably our best goal scorer. Well, he is our best goal scorer, and he's just looking electric at the moment, so there's no reason to drop him whatsoever. I don't see anybody else coming into that starting lineup other than a strong lineup. What I will do quickly, though, is I will just look at what we've got coming up that might influence how we start this game. So, matches, we have AC Milan and Crystal Palace as well at the weekend. So I don't think that anything that I've said in my lineup would really change. How do I see this game going down? I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't even know who AC Milan's manager is. So that could be ignorance on my part, and it most definitely probably is. But you have to realise there's a lot of football that goes on in England, in the Premier League, everything like that as well. It's difficult for me with the time I've got while working full-time, as we all do, well, I'm sure as most of us do anyway. It's difficult to keep up with other leagues and such like that as well. But from what I understand of AC Milan, I think they're second in their league as well. And obviously there's going to be a big miss for them having Zlatan not being able to play. And to be honest, I was kind of looking forward to seeing Zlatan turn up and see what he would do. Obviously he played with Manchester United as well for a couple of seasons, but I was really interested to see what Zlatan was going to bring to the table after so many years, and looking absolutely fantastic as a player last year as well in Serie A. It's going to be interesting. This isn't going to be like, you know, the AC Milan of 2005 or even 07. It just isn't. That team has gone through a myriad of changes where, and not necessarily for the better. You know, maybe they're starting to get back up there right now. And obviously they're getting some, well, they're back in the Champions League for a start, which is great for a team like that to be back in the Champions League. And can they stay in those sorts of positions, challenge for the league title in their division, in their league as well. And can they become mainstays in the Champions League again? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know tactically how AC Milan play, but for me as a Liverpool fan, that doesn't really matter because it's all about how we play our game. And what I learned, and I'm not saying that AC Milan are the same as Leeds or anything like that, but what we learn from Liverpool, especially this season, especially last season as well, is chance creation tends to be in abundance, tends to happen a lot. You see that we had 30 shots against Leeds United. Now, that was a defence that isn't a great defence at all. It's not even a good defence, probably even in the Championship right now. But having 30 shots against a team, having 9 on target and only scoring 3, you could look at that and say that's a little bit disappointing to only score 3 goals. And to be honest, when I said in my match review of that game, and I said that we could have won by 7 or 8 and that we should have. And that's the only concern that you sometimes get with Liverpool. We're playing at home in the Champions League, which is great. We need that level of chance creation, but we need clinical edges, which means if Sadio Mane is playing, we need clinical. We can't be having where you're having like 4 yards out from goal and you put it over the bar. We just can't have that happen in these sorts of games. We need to make sure we start this Champions League group stage off with a bang and get out there with a win. And I don't think we can really accept anything less. That doesn't mean I expect AC Milan to roll over. I expect them to take it to us. They will have quality players. Ante Rebic, Olivier Giroud might be aging at the moment, but the man is still a good goal scorer, has never relied on pace, and the man is like a lamppost. Like, it's good that we've got Van Dijk and Matip and Konate and Joe Gomez to choose from because we're going to need them against guys like that. And then you've got to look at their midfield, and the one that stands out for me because I know his name and people have been talking about him a lot is Frank Kessie. He's been talked about a lot, not just last season, but for quite a couple of seasons now, with links to the Premier League as well. Whether he ever makes a move, who knows? I have no idea. I think they've got some quality players that maybe some of us, including me, definitely me, that we don't know about. And we're going to find out what happens when we come up against them. But I think that we've got the quality to go against anybody in the Champions League, including Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, PSG. Maybe. I just literally forgot for a split second they signed Messi. Unreal. But even so, regardless of any of that, I think we can take it to any team, and we need to do that against AC Milan for sure. If we go with anything similar to that lineup that I talked about earlier in the video, I think that we'll go out there with a win. And I also think with good concentration levels and good work ethic, like we've been showing recently especially, I think we can go there, win 2-0, keeping it a clean sheet. I think we can do it. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but the Champions League is back and I cannot wait to watch it. Let me know what you think in the comments below about anything I've said in this video. Please do get your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll be watching this one tomorrow night and I'll get my review out after the game as well. We're going to start doing that again. Hopefully a bit more consistent on that basis, getting the match reaction out. And then on Thursday, I'll do a full match review of every talking point that possibly happens. Hopefully there's at least one. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below about this one. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you do around here as well. Thank you ever so much for all your support. Do take care of yourselves and I'll catch you later.